So we are now put in a very awkward and uncomfortable situation. And the reason for this is actually because of one thing, the debt ceiling. Now, you're probably tired of me talking about the debt ceiling, what's going on with the debt ceiling, what lawmakers are discussing, what this could mean for you and I and our bank accounts. Well, the solution has been revealed. The problem is lawmakers might not want to do something just yet. This is actually creating a crisis on top of the crisis. Now, I want to address what's going on here. First off, all I ask is if you can spend just 2 seconds, go ahead, hit that like button, and let's begin with the video. So here's what I can tell you. One lawmaker said regarding the debt ceiling, let's take our time because we must get this right. Let's take our time. We have less than 1 month to figure out and pass, negotiate, vote on this debt ceiling increase. The problem with this statement is that we do not have the time. Or do we? Well, according to multiple lawmakers from both parties, both the Republicans and the Democrats, they say they are not considering a short-term debt ceiling increase just in order to give them more time to negotiate. They said this because right now they've been trying to negotiate and figure out how they're going to increase the debt ceiling or suspend the debt limit. But that has been going on for many months. Now we're within 1 month of the default date, and now they want to extend it. A short-term deal just to increase the debt ceiling just a limited amount to give them more time to negotiate. Well, key members of both parties say no, that's off the table. Now, this idea has been brought up before, but nobody believes this is the best way forward. Nobody believes that the other party is going to say no. Republicans don't think Democrats are going to hold up a bill. If it comes down to the final day, they will pass it. You know what Democrats think? Republicans are going to do the exact same thing. They're playing chicken with the American people and our economy. Even the GOP whip, John Thune, he had this to say. And I quote, "I just think that this needs to get done, and delay doesn't solve anything." And even Republican Senator Ted Cruz said this, and I quote, "I can tell you a short-term extension and a clean debt ceiling is not going to pass Congress. This is a solution that the White House has fever dreams of, but it's not going to pass Congress, nor should it." But what happens if Congress can't come to an agreement? What happens if President Biden vetoes a bill that is now sitting on his desk? Well, there's actually another way, another workaround that the Treasury has really shot down, but this might be the only option. This is to mint a $1 trillion platinum coin. That's it. To mint this coin. That could be what saves us. But by doing this, and again, this allows the Treasury to continue to pay its debts and avert this crisis, right? This disaster. However, it's merely a stunt. That's all it is. It's just a stunt. Now, experts believe that even a short-term default could actually trigger a recession and cost the U.S. almost 1 million jobs. A prolonged default would obviously be much worse. But think about that. A short-term default. By short, this could be less than a week. And it could trigger a recession and cost about 1 million jobs. Think how devastating that would be. Now, a default in a time when interest rates have risen as high as they have. This is not a good sign for the American people because everything's getting more expensive. Everything is more expensive. We know if you go and buy, say, some fruit, it's more expensive. You want to put it on a credit card. Okay, go do that. Problem is, your interest rate is also more expensive. According to experts, the United States can get out of this mess. But experts believe that one of the options we have is we have to figure out how we can provide less pain to the American people. And in order to provide less pain, it means we need to actually get more people back to work. Here's the other problem. Right now, there's millions of open positions, open jobs out there, but experts say the U.S. needs to fix the problem for getting additional workers. They say we have enough jobs, we have the infrastructure, we just need workers. And you're probably thinking, well, what does this have to do with the debt ceiling? Well, they actually go hand in hand, according to multiple lawmakers. Based on a recent report, the U.S. has a worker shortage. And if it continues on, we could face very serious economic conditions. This could be a major crisis. But how do we fix this? Well, this is where experts say that right now, the best option for the White House is to push for immigration reform. So here's where things get very tricky. And again, let me just break it down. What would immigration reform do? Well, if the White House could push for immigration reform and immigrants could enter the United States and work legally, then we could collect more taxes from immigrants. And by collecting more taxes from immigrants and new workers, this would actually reduce the need to increase taxes on the wealthy and large corporations. This is where experts believe the debt ceiling fight is going to head. Because if we see Democrats decide, okay, let's increase the debt ceiling by $1.5 trillion for the next year, which I don't think it's going to be for just a year. I think it's going to be longer than that. I don't think any lawmaker wants to see the debt ceiling fight continue and really pick up again next year in March or April or May. Nobody wants to do that in an election year. So, if we see this, let's say it goes up $2 trillion for the next 2 years, but at the same time, Republicans say, okay, we are going to open up our borders. We're going to make it easier for people to come in, but we need to make sure they are the right people, that they are going to work. They're not just going to collect benefits from our taxpayers. We could see, according to experts, they believe this could be a path forward, because if we have more workers that we can collect more taxes from, we can pay down our debts. That is going to be key. And I bring this up because in just 7 days, on March 11th, 2023, this is when we're going to see Title 42 end. This is also when we could see more people, more immigrants, showing up at the border. The southern border between the United States and Mexico. And if this happens, and again, the White House has already sent another 1,500 troops down to the border just to assist. The National Guard has already been there. The National Guard is already there. So we are just trying to increase our presence at the border. But again, we are creating a crisis on top of the crisis. This is why I bring this up, and this is why I wanted to talk about this, because right now what lawmakers are discussing is other options. How can Democrats get something that they want in order to give Republicans something that they're asking for? Well, this is where things are going to get very tricky, and this is why I bring this up, because over the next 3 weeks, we're going to see a major fight. And as we see this, as we see it unfold, I promise, I will fill you in on all the latest news and updates. All you got to do is 2 things. First off, make sure you always hit that like button if you enjoy these daily uploads. Second thing, click that subscribe button so you never miss an update. But that is the update that I have for you guys today. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video and how you have a great rest of your day. If you have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. Again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.